Hello everyone, welcome back to JDCodebase. This is the web development series. In the previous video, we learned about React components and props. Now, in this video, we are going to learn one of the most important topic in the React, that is the state and event handling. This topic is very important because this is what makes our React application dynamic and interactive. So don't worry if this feels confusing at first. I will explain everything slowly with the real example and live coding. Also, the PPT are available in the video description, so you can practice later. So let's start. Now, in this video, we will understand how React handle the data and user interaction. Until now, our components were mostly static, but real application change when user click the button, type in the input, or submit the form. State and events are the core concept that help us to build those dynamic user interface. Now, what you will learn in this video, the difference between the state and props, what state really means in the React, how to use the useState hook, how to update state correctly, how React handle the event, how what synthetic event are, and how to pass argument to event handler. By the end of this video, you will able to build the interactive component confidently. Now, first one is the let's quickly revise props. Props means properties, a short form of the properties, and props are used to pass the data from parent component to a child component. A very important rule here is the props are read only, immutable means, and that means a child component cannot change the props, and props are mainly used for the configuration data like username, title, or settings. So what is state? State is a data that belongs to a component itself. We use state when data change over the time. We use state when the data change over time. For example, a counter value or a form input text showing or hiding something. Whenever state change, React re-render the component automatically. Now let's compare the state versus the props. Props come from the parent component. State is managed inside the component. Props cannot be the change, and state can be updated. Props are mostly used for the configuration. State is used for the interactivity. If data needs to be changed, use the state, and if the data is fixed, use the props. Now, what is a use state? In modern React, we use functional component, and to use the state in the functional component, React give us a hook called the use state. Don't worry about this word, what is the hook? I will explain. This is actually separate topic in this series, so don't worry about it. Just focus on this use state. Use state allow a component to remember value. It returns to value the current state value, and a function to update the that state. The basic syntax is the use state initial value. Now creating state with the use state. To use state, first we import the use state from the React. Then inside the component we define our state. The initial value runs only once when the component render for the first time. State can store any data type like number, string, boolean, array, or object. So let's see in the VS Code how to use this. Let me create a component counter dot JSX. Now let's write if this is the short form RAFC, React Arrow Function Export Component. Just write this, and inside this let me make a h1 tag, the counter, count, and a button to increment the increment. Now let's initialize a state const count set count and use state imported from the React, and initial value is the 0 here, and export default the counter, and also give the value here count. So here I import the use state from the React, and as you see, and then I create a state variable called the count. This one means normally in JavaScript we just write const count equal to any variable, any value, but here in the use state we have to make it in the arrow form, means the use state given the arrow array, and count store the current value, means current value here is the 0. If I set here 5, this is the 5. So let me show you in the browser. Okay, I did not counter. Yes, now let's see count is 5 here, and if I change the value here, the count is 0, initial value is 0, so count is 0 here, and set count is the function to update the value. So here initial value is the 0 as I said, and inside the JSX I display the count using the curly braces and count. Now let's to update the counter we must use the setter function. So setter function is this set count, and this is basically a good best practices to write the set and the variable name. And we should never change state directly like count plus 1, count plus 2, just by clicking on this, but we have to use the setter function. If we change it state directly, React will not re-render the component. Means when we use the set count, the React re-render and make a virtual DOM again for the new value. Now let's write in the button on click a camel case and a arrow function set count count plus 1. So here when the button is clicked, set count is the called, this arrow function is called, and the React update the state and automatically re-render the UI. That's why count value update on the screen. Means here if you see, I am just pressing increase button and the counter value is changing, and you means you can change by plus 5 or plus 10. It's up to you. Let me see, 5, 10, 15 means every time it updates by the 5 value. So updating the state on the previous value, sometimes the new state depend on the old state. In that case we should use the callback function. Means we are just writing the set count plus 5, but what about the previous value? Means we want to update the state based on the old state. For that, use the previous state previous count plus 1. Now here this is a safer and recommended way by the React. Like here the work is simple. When I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there is no just the writing the way is changing by for using the previous value. Now we can use the use state for multiple time in this same component. Each state variable is independent in this. Like if this is a count variable, if I want to store the name, just write name set name equal to use state and empty string. And if you want to write the login, just like is logged in. Here also set is logged in, and you can give the value here false or true based on your criteria. So here we can means we are storing the value, numeric value, string value, boolean value in the values, counter values in this use by using the useState. Now what are the events in the React? Events are user action like clicking, typing or submitting. Like here I am clicking on this button, this is the event on click. So some example are like on click, on change, on submit or mouse event. And React uses the camel case event names. Like here this is the camel case name. And handling event in the React, we pass a reference to the event. We do not call the function directly, we just pass the reference. Like here let me write one more button, and inside this this is a click me button, and inside this I am giving an event on click. On click just give a function name handle click and declare the function here, function handle click, and this function console.log button click. So here I just call this button by when I click on this button, this button make a event, and the function is called here, and console.log button click. Let me open the console. I just click on this click me, and this button click me button click here in the console. Now what are the synthetic event? React does not use the browser event directly, it wraps them into the something called synthetic event, and this make event work the same in all browser and improve the performance. So this is not just means just for the like event.prevent default, event.target.value for the input values. Just use this. And event objects in the means object, React automatically passes an event object. For example, let me show you a value. Let me create a input, a normal input form, and inside this I want to means write let's say the value, let's say on change. It's called the function handle change, and let's make a new function handle change and console.log, and this take a value called the event. Now call the event dot target dot value. So let's see here, when I write here something, see this all the comes in the like in the browser console. So this is just normal HTML event means in HTML we use the target we use the same event.target.value, but in the deeper in the DOM manipulation. But here we have to just write the function and call this event.target.value, and we get the value here. Now passing the argument to event handler. Sometimes we need to pass the custom value like an ID for deleting an element or updating an element. For that we have to, instead of normal calling this function, we have to make a arrow function here. Button, this is a delete button, and on click, instead of writing direct function name, just use the arrow function, delete item, the ID here I am giving the ID. Now let's make this delete item, it's take an ID, console.log that ID. So here we have to, when we click, we have just means we pass the value here. So like here I just call this delete I get the ID 1 and anyone means the value from here. Now some common mistakes. Beginner often update the state directly and call the event function immediately, and forget the previous state callbacks or confuse the props with the state. Avoid this mistake and React becomes much easier for you. Now some best practices: keep the state minimal and lift state up when needed, and use the props for the fixed data, and use the state for the changing data. Name event handle the clearly, like handle click, handle change, handle submit, so like this. So let's summarize. Props are read only, state is the immutable. State is mutable and props are immutable. And use state help us to manage the data. React uses the synthetic event, and events makes our UI interactive. So that is for the state and event handling in the React. This topic may feel heavy now, but don't worry, practice will make it clear. Make sure to check the PPT in the video description. In the next video, means the next topic is the conditional rendering and list, which builds directly into today's topic. If this video helped you, like and subscribe to JDCodebase. I will see you in the next video.